So listen properly. The title is common title. For the following continuous time systems, determine whether the system is, first sub question is linear, second sub question is time invariant, third sub question is memoryless, fourth sub question is causal, fifth sub question is stable. So all these are the properties of the system. As I said earlier, after discussing theory part of properties, we solve the problem. So we are solving now for the continuous time system. Similarly, the same thing we will be doing for the discrete time systems. I hope you have written the title for the following continuous time systems. Determine whether the system is linear, time invariant, memoryless, causal, stable. 100% you will get one question without fail in the exam. Okay. Shall we start? I think the question is copied.
Yes, ma'am.
So first question is, you write down y of t is equal to e power x of t. Y of t is equal to e power x of t. Y of t is equal to e power x of t. See, as per the given question, the first one what I want to find is whether it is linear or not. So I'm going in the same order, linearity. Okay. So y of t is equal to e power x of t. I want to see whether y of t follows all the properties which is given in the question. So first is linearity property, and you can see in my screen I have written y of t is equal to t of x of t. You can ask me, ma'am, why you are using t? H is the operator, right? Yes, H is the operator that is from the prescribed book. Since I have taken these problems from the local author book, I maintain the same variable from the local author book. In the local author book, they have used t. So t and h is not a problem. Both are same. I hope you are understanding it. So operator can be any variable. As per the local author book, I am using t only. So t of x of t. I will get my output y of t when I perform the operation called t here instead of h, but both are same on x of t. But as per the question, my y of t is equal to e power x of t. So this we have to write initially in all the problems. Y of t is equal to x, y of t is equal to t of x of t, which is equal to e power x of t. E power x of t is given in the question. So now after letting this is common for all the problems. I am just going to the linearity property. So give the title linearity. Give the title linearity. As per the linearity, I have to obey the scaling as well as I have to obey the superposition. You know the scaling here it is A and B. In the prescribed book, they have used A1, A2 like that. But there is no problem. We can use A, B, C, D like that also. So the scaling is homogeneity. For homogeneity, they have used the variables A, B. And for superposition, you can see the plus symbol here. So closing your eyes, initially what you have to write is, you have to write the operator T of A into x1 of t plus B into x2 of t by yourself. This you have to write by yourself. Then, since it is the t is the operation for the sum of two different terms, I can take that t operator individually inside. If I take the t operator individually inside, can I take the scaling factor which is constant outside the operator? So it is t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. So I'm just doing it very slowly because it is very important. If I explain one problem properly, the other problem I no need to explain in detail. So do you have any doubts in this? The first equation, t of a into x1 of t plus, so there is a common bracket, and then later on, I'm just splitting it. So I have to prove like this. So now the next step is, I have to take the left hand side. What is left hand side? Left hand side is t of a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. Please, I want all of you to rewrite the left hand side. So when you rewrite the left hand side, as per the equation which you have written, if it is t into x of t, then it is equal to e power x of t. The same way, in place of x of t, what I have in place of x of t, I have such a big term. So in place of e power x of t, in place of x of t, I have to replace with such a big term, a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. Do you have any doubts in this?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now the next operation what is possible here is I can multiply e power terms, or I can split the terms, like that I can say. So it is e power a into x1 of t multiplied with e power b into x2 of t. This is the operation I will get. Now can you say that e into e power a into x1 of t, it is a product with e into e power b into x2 of t. But as per this first equation which I have written, I should get the sum of the transform, a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. Here I am getting the product. So, and also this a, I cannot write it at the front here like this. I cannot write it as a into, I know e power x1 of t. I can write it as t of x1 of t. I can write it t of x1 of t. But am I clear here what I am trying to convey? So this e power a into x1 of t, if I split it, it is like e power a into e power x1 of t. So I cannot write like this. The right hand side says that a into t1 t of x1 of t plus b. But here I am not getting plus, I am getting product. Dot, I have e power b. This b I cannot write like b into, because it is in e power term. So I don't know how to write this a and b here. Okay. So I'm just writing only the operators. So t of x1 of t multiplied with t of x2 of t, I'm getting as per my answer. So my answer is not matching with the right hand side of the first equation. So my conclusion is this is not linear. So I will write my conclusion as, you can see here in the screen. Simply I can write like this. In order to avoid all the confusions, I can write like this. Not equal to, what is my right hand side? My right hand side is this. My left hand side is this. My left hand side is here, but it is not following equal to operation. It is following not equal to operation. A into t1 of x, t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. Since here it is a product term. So my conclusion is system is non-linear. Can you people follow? Anybody reply?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. So if we solve 2 to 3 problems, you yourself will easily do it. Okay. First problem you may feel little difficult. Now, next property is I need to prove it is time invariance. So time invariance. What my time invariance property says? I'm writing the property. I'm not writing with respect to the given question. If y of t minus t naught is equal to the operation on x of t minus t naught, if it is equal, then I can say the system is time invariant. That means here how much it is shifted, the same shift I should get at the output when I perform the operation called t on x. So you should write this in the exam, because the evaluator will see whether the student is knowing the property or not. So how will they identify whether you know the property? If you write the statement, they will know that you know the properties concept properly. So you should write this statement without fail. So now I will proceed to my question. So as per my condition, my right hand side is I have to perform the operation. What operation? T of x of t minus t naught. So that I am writing here in next line. I want the operation t on x of t minus t naught. So as per the question, x of t is equal to, I know it is e power x of t. Sorry, it is not x of t, y of t is equal, right? What is given here in the question, y of t is equal. So y of t is equal to, the question is y of t is equal to e power x of t. So I know that the operation on x will give me y, which is nothing but y of t minus t naught. So as per the question, y of t is e power x of t. So if it is y of t minus t naught, it is e power x of t minus t naught. Is it clear up to this? Why we are equating t of x of t minus t naught equal to e power x of t minus t naught? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this operation on x will yield the output y of t minus t naught. As per the question, y of t is equal to e power x of t. So this y of t minus t naught I can write as e power x of t minus t naught. So now in the next line, I am just comparing with y of t minus t naught. So initially write like this, three equations you do it, three equals you do it. T of x of t minus t naught you write, which is equal to y of t minus t naught you write, which is equal to this you write initially. Later on, you just compare only the output variable with the expression. So that is the comparison I have done here. So what it says is, if input is delayed by t naught, my output is also delayed. Both are matching. So I can write that my statement, what is written in the first line, my statement, what it says. Therefore, y of t minus t naught is equal to h of x of t minus t naught. Therefore, my system is time invariant. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So memoryless, you know what is the meaning of memoryless like that. So I will write the question again. Y of t is equal to e power x of t. See, along with t, I do not have any plus or minus some numbers. I do not have. So if I do not have anything, I can predict that this is present system. It is present. I do not have anything -1 or +1 like that. I do not have anything. So I feel that it is present. So my answer is the output y of t depends only on the present value of x of t. Therefore, the system is memoryless. Therefore, the system is memoryless. I hope you are all following, you are writing the problem in your notebook. If you do not write, definitely you will not understand. So problems you should solve along with me. So the system is memoryless. Similarly, as per the question, my output y of t is equal to e power x of t. That means it depends only on the current value, present value. I know for causal, it should depend upon the present value as well as past value. Out of two, if any one condition is satisfied, also I can say the system is causal. So out of two things, past and present, my present condition is satisfied, so my system is causal. So the conclusion you have to write like this: the output does not depend upon the future value, but it depends upon the present value. It depends upon the present value. Therefore, my system is causal. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now the next one is stability. As per your question, stability we need to find. So stability, listen, we have discussed in the theory, magnitude of x of t less than or equal to mx we have discussed as per the prescribed book. Here they have used b, dx. Nothing wrong. Since we use BIBOS table, no, so they have used dx here. Dx less than infinity. Okay. So my output also should satisfy the condition. What is my output? As per the stability definition, my y of t also should be between less than or equal to by less than or equal to infinity. As per the question, my y of t is e power x of t. So that magnitude also is bounded. So how I am concluding here is if input is bounded, my output is also bounded. I don't know whether my input is bounded or not. If I assume it like if my input is bounded, my output is also bounded. Therefore, the system is stable. So you have to write this condition. X of t is equal to magnitude of x of t is less than or equal to bx less than infinity. Magnitude of y of t, as per the question, it is equal to magnitude of e power x of t, which is less than or equal to by less than infinity. So if I assume that input is bounded, my output is also bounded. That's why if condition is written here. If input is bounded. If input is bounded, then only the output is bounded. So can we proceed to the next question? So I will explain one more question and I will stop the class today.
Yes, ma'am.
So y of t is equal to x of 3t. Please write down in your notebook. Y of t is equal to x of 3t. Y of t is equal to x of 3t. So as I said earlier, the first step is you have to write this. How will I get y of t? If I perform the operation on x of t, I will get y of t. As per the given question, y of t is equal to x of 3t. So this relation you have to write in the first equation. This is the relation. Then next, you all know very well. The next is for linearity. This formula you have to write by your own. T of a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t is equal to individual. Now we have to split that summation, addition. So a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. So now what I can do is, so like earlier problem, I can solve it rather than this. So the earlier problem up to this is fine, like the previous problem. Then after that, as per the earlier problem, I have to take the left hand side. My left hand side is t of a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t, b into x2 of t. So which is equal to, so I know as per the question, in place of x of t, I have x3 of x of 3t. So I will write this as, so like previous problem, this we cannot do it because x of 3t cannot be written in form of x1 and x2. Let me try here. I will write x1. Yes, I will write here x1 of 3t a. So the t of x of t is x of 3t, but here I have a as the variable. So a into x1 of 3t plus I will write b into x2 of 3t. So like this also you can do it, or as per my notes also you can follow. I think that will be easy. Let me see in my notes. I have splitted the, this is my general equation. Then what I have done is t of x1 of t is nothing but the operation of t on x. So if it is x1, then it will be equal to x1 of 3t. So x1 of 3t plus b into the operation on x2 of t is x2 of 3t, x2 of 3t. So I have written a into x1 of 3t plus b into x2 of 3t. Then later what I have done is, I know what is x1 of 3t. x1 of 3t is now I am writing in terms of t. So t of x1 of t plus b into x2 of 3t can be written as t of x2 of t. So why I am writing in this way? Because the right hand side I am getting back a into t of x1 of t plus b into t of x2 of t. So this says that it is linear. If your given question is not in terms of e power, you can write as a clue. If the given question is not in terms of e power, complicated terms like this, then maximum your question, the given question will be linear. It is not in terms of power. So next is time invariance. Time invariance. So I am taking the operation of t on x of t minus t naught. If I perform the operation of x of t minus t naught, as per this question, t of, first I should write t of x of t, t of x of t, t of x of t. If I perform the operation on input, my output as per the question is x of 3t, x of 3t. So the left hand side, what I can write, y of t, how I got y of t? Y of t I have got by performing the operation of t on x of t, which is equal to, as per the question, it is x of 3t. So if I introduce the delay, in x of t place, t minus t naught, then I will get x of 3t minus t naught. So only I am introducing the delay minus t naught. So the next step is, so through this operation, this is my answer. Through this operation, this is my answer. Now I want, without the operation, I want what is y of t minus t naught. So given question says y of t is equal to directly x of 3t. So I am not using the operator t. If I do not use the operator t, then wherever t is there I should replace it t minus t naught. So here within the bracket I will write t minus t naught along with 3. So x of 3 of t minus t naught. So if I multiply this, it is x of 3t minus x of 3t minus 3 naught, 3t naught. So now I am just comparing it. If I compare these two right hand sides, is it equal? These two right hand sides, is it equal?
No, ma'am.
No. So my answer is, it is not time invariant. So this is little tricky problem, okay, finding whether invariance, linearity. So we have to use our presence of mind and we have to do it. So what we are doing is we are using operator and then we are writing the expression of x. If you use the operator, it is just minus t. In general, if I write y of t as y of t minus t naught, then I will get x of 3 within the bracket t minus t naught. So when I expand it, it is x of 3t minus 3t. So my right hand sides are not equal, therefore it is not time invariant. It is not time invariant. Okay. So you can see here, we have to conclude like this: y of t minus t naught is not equal to t of x of t minus t naught. Both are not equal. So once, see, always the difficult part is finding linearity and invariance. Memory-less, causal, seeing the question itself, we can easily make out whether it is memory or memory-less, causal or not causal, and stable or not stable. Out of 5 properties which we are discussing, linearity and time invariance finding is a bit tricky. That's it. See, in this question, I will rewrite it again. Y of t is equal to x of 3t. Blindly seeing this question, I may say that there is no plus or minus terms here, plus or minus 1 like that, there is nothing. I feel that it is just present. The output depends upon the present. But if my output depends upon only the present, my conclusion it is a memory less. But the answer is not memoryless here, it is not memoryless. I will tell you why. If you just look at the question, you may feel like it is the present only, output depends upon the present. And I will repeat again, along with t, if we have any scaling factor, then seeing the question at a glance, we cannot predict that it is present system. So to predict that whether it is present system or it depends upon the past also, I need to substitute some values. So let me substitute some random number. I am substituting t as minus 10. If I substitute t as minus 10, then my input is x of minus 30. So it is minus. If I give the past number, that means minus 10, my output, my input x is also in terms of past. That means I can say the output depends upon the past values of the input. The output is y of minus 10. It depends upon the past values of input because it is x of minus 30. Similarly, if I write x of plus 10, then my output is also x of plus 30. So my output now depends upon the current value. So depending upon the t value which we take, I may get the past value also, I may get present value also. So I will conclude that the given system is not memoryless. It is a memoried system because the output depends upon the past value of the input. The system is not memoryless. You can ask me a question, ma'am. In the previous problem, you said it was x of e power x of t. In the previous problem, you said here along with t in the bracket, we do not have plus term or minus term. So you said it is just a present value. So output depends only on the present. So the conclusion, it is a memoryless system. But I am just giving you a comparison here. E power is different. E power x of t is different. And direct linearity is different. Linearity means what? Output is directly proportional to x. Output, if it is directly proportional to x, then we have to think number of times to conclude. Here the output is not directly proportional to x. It is e power x term. So if you want, you can substitute the value of t as minus 5 also. But you cannot predict the answer. You know why? E power x of minus 5, I don't know what is the x of minus 5 value. And if I give e of t as plus 5 also, I don't know what is x of 5. So if I do not know what is the value, then I can say that the system is depending only on the present. Then I can conclude that it is memoryless. If it is linearly proportional, if I have a chances, then I can keep the values, different values here for t, and I can analyze it so that I can conclude that the system is not memoryless. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So actually, if you see in my side, no, it is very difficult for you to understand, making you to understand. If it is offline class, it would have been better. Okay, anyway, I'm trying my level best. Mm, Causality. See, causality, again, the output is linearly proportional to x. Linearly, know what is the meaning of linearly? Whereas the first problem, the output was not linearly proportional to x because it was e power. So e power like that, if it is there, seeing that t term without plus minus 1 like that, we can analyze it. But here, since it is linearly proportional, I should substitute the value. Then I should find out. So suppose y of t is equal to x of 3t, x of 3t here. If I substitute t as 2, if I substitute t as 2, I am getting x of 6, x of 6. X of 6 is nothing but 6 is advanced number than 2. So it gives that my system is dependent on the future values also. So if the system is dependent on the future value, then I will not conclude it is causal, I will conclude it as non-causal. So you can ask me a question, ma'am, if I give the t value as 1, so I will give t value as 1, y of 1, then my x value is x of, I will get minus 3, x of minus 3. See again when you compare no 1 and 3, minus 1 and minus 3, again minus 3 is future only compared to minus 1. You know when you draw in the graph, minus 1 will come first, minus 2 will come next, minus 3 will come next. So when you see this, minus 1 is always, we can say it is present, and minus 3 is future. So any value you substitute, okay, you will get the output depend on the future values of x. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so I can say that it is non-causal. And always stability, I say it is very easy. So if input is bounded, output is bounded. See here, input is bounded. I am writing that equation. Output y of t is equal to magnitude of x of 3t is less than or equal to bx, less than or it's not bx, it is by. Okay, condition for output is by less than infinity. So if input is bounded, output is also bounded. So with this, I will just stop the class. Tomorrow I will just continue. I have 6 more problems. Okay, so and the out of 6 problems I have marked star for some problems. Those problems I have seen in question papers. So far we have seen 2 problems. Those 2 problems are not too tricky. So further problems, the equations are little complicated. So bit tricky it is. So we will just continue the discussion in the next class. And once we complete this,